Okay, this time we'll call the meeting to order, and first item on the agenda is a public hearing to hear comments about a proposed McDowell County budget. So, pursuant to the general statutes, we are now in a public hearing setting. Do we have anybody here that wishes to speak? Come over, Robert. You got to come to the podium. Good to see you, sir. Just come right to the podium right there, and we'll hear you glad.
I'm going to take my mask off up here.
No problem.
Well, first off, let me thank you for allowing us to come and share with you about McDowell Tech. I'm Robert Ayers, one of the trustees on the McDowell Tech board, and we appreciate very much what the commissioners have done for McDowell Tech over the years. And we realize that it's a rough year this year. And if you can help us this year, it would be great. But at least we want you to know that we're going to have significant needs in the future, and that you need to think about that. We have added 3 new buildings to our campus since we've had an increase in our capital fund that you guys give us. I was on the board, and I can't exactly remember the dates, somewhere back in 2007, 2008, my first term on the board. And at that time, you were giving us $80,000 in capital money. Guess what? You're still giving us $80,000 in capital money, and we have grown exponentially. And $80,000 is just not going to meet our needs. And in order for us to maintain our campus and have a facility that people would want to come to, and you know as well as I do that McDowell Tech is probably one of the biggest assets that we've got in this county. We want it to look nice and be nice, and we want everybody to make their visit here a pleasant visit. Had we gotten even a 2% increase over the 12 or 15 years that we haven't gotten an increase, we'd be at like $108,000. And we're still stuck on 80. And our request this year was for $500,000. And you know, and I know, I've been on boards, and you know, and I know that that's probably unreasonable. And we knew that going in, that you weren't going to give us $500,000. But we did hope for a sizable increase. We need new signage. We need updated signage for our campus. And it's very, very expensive. You're talking $40,000, $50,000 price just for that. So if we bought that, you know, if we were able to get that this year at $50,000, that would only leave us $30,000 to maintain our campus for the rest of the year. And it's just not doable, folks. So we'd like for you to take a look at that. Do what you can. We know it's a tough year financially, but we would appreciate anything that you could do. But just know that our needs in the future are going to be way more than what you're giving us now, because we're growing, and that's a good thing. We heard at our trustee meeting last week that our numbers look like they're going to be up for fall, and we were really surprised by that. But looks like our numbers are going to be up, so we continue to grow. And any consideration you can give us, we would very much appreciate. Be glad to answer any questions that I can.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. All right. Does anybody else wish to speak who's present? If so, just need your name and come forward.
question and is a comment. The county purchased and renovated this building, right? Do we charge the college anything for the use of this building?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Matter of fact, as a matter of fact, I actually could probably give you a little more information about that.
Mr. Wood, go ahead, sir, while you're, that way.
To answer the question, I guess, more fully, the property was purchased in 2012 by the county. The purchase price is a little over $2 million. At the time, there was a need identified by the college and the county to provide additional training skills space, which was met in this facility. Thankfully, for everyone's benefit, there was Golden Leaf funding through an initiative they had, a community assistance initiative that was providing counties $2 million at the time. The community coalesced around the need for a skills training center, which was developed here. The county applied for that, received it, the $2 million. The county also put in $1.6 million into this facility.
That was out of our pocket.
Right, $700,000 of that was general fund appropriations, and the other $900,000 was generated from payments made by the tenants in this building. So essentially, it was county dollars brought in for the renovation. There were other funders, but of course, the two primary being Golden Leaf and the county. The college has done a wonderful job operating the facility since it opened in 2014. And this room, for example, is utilized greatly for meetings such as this, community groups, but more importantly, groups like Baxter for training and others that utilize it for its original purpose. But the building is being utilized. Golden Leaf has lifted it up as a model, as has the college and others. So it's certainly fulfilling its purpose. It was not cheap or free, and it was done at great expense to the county. But again, that's the county's responsibility, of course, to provide assistance for provision of capital facilities. This was about 50,000 square feet. A little bit was added around the perimeter, including this room and a little bit on the side, this classroom. It was about 40,000 originally. If that was translated into rentable space, it's either $80,000 or $100,000 a year that could have been rented if that was not made available for the skills center. Someone had asked me if what the county normally charges for rental income, but that's typically $2 a square foot with other adjustments, but sometimes that's the going rate usually. But it's a great facility, and it provided space on the campus. The figure I provided you earlier does have in it a small renovation that was done on the campus, about $138,000 that was done at the time. Does that answer the questions?
And just when you look at that $80,000, you also have to weigh in and add to that number, basically the rent that the county is losing on this facility whenever we are assigning it for allowing the college to use it. So there's more money involved by the county than actually what you're seeing on paper.
So what you're saying is kind of an indirect contribution to the college versus a direct money contribution.
And Barry was on I remember, as Mr. Wooten said, that This was a project that became a focal point of the county, the city, the college, and others to, and the goal, Barry, he was on the board too, remind us, was to make sure that with the purchase, we could do the skills training center, but the goal was to be able to make long-term provide space as the college would grow, and more space would be needed. And it's a pretty good deal when you can buy $1 million back of the appraisal value, when you can generate income to help offset the cost to maintain other parts of the building, and you can drop $900,000 in to do additions to the building. I remember a current trustee, Robert and Bill, that's on your board now, Randy Holloway, was a commissioner at that time. And I remember myself and the former county manager, Chuck, walking in the building when they were working on it and getting ready. And they were talking about this room right here, and Chuck said, we're going to just have this block walls, like out here in the other parts of it. And me and Randy looked and I said, now this is going to be a showpiece and a center point. You need to make this room really nice. And so they did do that. Remember that, Barry? You're on the board then. And so as a result, we're looking at a beautiful room here today, and we hope the college continues to grow. Robert and Bill and the board will do all we can to make sure that we're a partner with you guys and we move it forward. And having a good school system and a strong college, community college in your county is very important. You're right. Anybody else that's here that wishes to speak regarding the budget at this time? Okay, did I hear a motion about public hearing? Got a motion? Second discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. Okay. Now, Mr. Wooten, we've held the public hearing per the requirements. Other comments that you or staff need to make, or questions by fellow commissioners at this point?
Just on the budget, you have until the 30th. I honestly would suggest wait until the 30th.
Okay.
There's no real rush on our part. We're preparing for the next budget year. That's okay.
Okay.
Case. That's it.
All right. By consensus then, the board will just wait until the recommended date for adoption. That gives more time to get more information, maybe see some good numbers coming from the state, who knows, regarding sales tax.
That's right.
You keep your fingers crossed, right?
Well, it can happen in 2 weeks.
All right, now with that being said, this time we'll take a brief recess for our camera crew, because that was televised and the rest of the portion of the meeting is not going to be televised. So that gives them a chance to go ahead and make any changes they need to.